Hey everyone, fair warning again for spoilers on some of the games we'll be talking about for these top 10 discussions. I'll put some timestamps down at the bottom, but from what I've noticed, we mostly just spoil a bit of Silent Hill F and Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, but I'll have those timestamps down there. Just be wary. If we talk about a game that you want to keep in the dark about, feel free to skip forward or take a look at the timestamps below. Enjoy.
Welcome everyone to the latest episode of The Testing Room, where three of the gaming industry's best video game consultants who have never actually consulted on a video game bring in new topics each and every week. As always, I'm Alex, aka The Gozfather.
I'm Christian, aka Sudoku45. Sorry, Mage decided, please stop. Mage decided that she was going to, somehow find a piece of plastic find a piece of plastic, and then chew on it right as we started the podcast, so it sounded like she was choking there for a second. Yes, yeah. So, just cat things. Anyways. Yeah.
And I am Preston, aka fucking Untitled Jedi. Teddy is just sleeping. He's more upset with me the fact that I took him outside and then did not hang out with him afterwards. But
Maybe Mage wants to be the new honorary cat friend of the podcast.
She doesn't want to be friends with anyone besides Christian, so that's a no.
Yeah.
It's true. I would love for her to do that, but she's simply not interested. I don't know.
For anyone that watches this podcast, I am sad to say that you will no longer see Winnie's butthole on camera.
Yeah.
We unfortunately, after recording the other day, we had to say goodbye to little Weebs.
That's why you'll notice that we're all in different outfits right now.
Yeah. Yes, that is we are not continuing. Yeah. This is a couple days later. Immediately after that, she has been fighting kidney disease for quite a while. Unfortunately, lost that fight the other day when we recorded. So there's that. So in memory to Wheeze for this episode. But yeah, if you are picking up right where we left off, maybe it's only a couple of days for you, or maybe you waited to listen to them back to back. We are continuing on with our definitive top 10 for the testing room after giving our personal top 10. So if you've done this before, we had our list. We're going to start to talk about what we think should definitely be on here, maybe make an argument, and we're going to try and figure out where these things fall within that. And boys, I'm going to say this is going to be interesting, because I was looking at the list, and there's two games I think that we've all three played between Clair Obscur and Monster Hunter, but then every other game two people played. Me or Preston played, or me or Christian played.
There's a lot of variety this year, for sure.
There's a lot of variety, so I think
yes.
it'll be interesting. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to it here.
I say we bring Clair Obscur over, but Christian, put it at the very bottom of the definitely maybe list, just so that way we can leave some type of...
I think it's a good chance the two games we all three played and had on our top 10 could do it. So I would say Monster Hunter and Clair Obscur could come over. It's the only thing that we all three had.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of double touches, so I think Silent Hill F comes over. I think Citizen Sleeper, Dispatch.
I would say yes for all of those.
I'm actually surprised you guys had Citizen Sleeper so high.
It's really good. We played it a long time ago.
I did play it. I didn't beat it this year, but I played it.
It's fantastic.
It's really good. I don't know what else to tell you. If it didn't grab you, it didn't grab you.
Okay. All right. I'm kind of torn on this one, because Christian and I didn't have it on our list, though I do enjoy it. I debated Arc Raiders. I think Arc Raiders fell at 11.
It was very low there. Yeah.
I think because I didn't have as much time in it.
Or if it came out earlier in the year, we had more
time. We had some great moments so far. Like, I don't want to make it sound it's been a ton of fun,
ones,
but
it was the first off the list for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had, just for Preston to say this, Ball Pit was number 8 on my list. And I played like 4 games after Ball Pit, and each one just like pushed it further down and further down.
It's not on Christian's list at all, so like I'm not gonna try to fight for it too much because we got a lot of double up here's that I still think we need to talk about as far as what made it into our top 10.
I will give you guys Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I played the worst of those 2 games, where I played the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I've heard great things about Shinobi. I saw a lot of Shinobi. Christian played it on stream. It did look very good.
It's a very good looking game. Plays very well as well. I think it could come over.
I agree. So that means
bring Shinobi on over. Joe Musashi, come on down. You're going in for the definitely maybe.
Yeah.
What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, we have 5.
Trails in the Sky first chapter is doubled up.
I mean, I would.
I'm gonna go. Your passion for it brings the Trails game into this top 10 every year. So like, I'm down with that being into there. If you think that is the best out of the 2 that came out this year.
Oh, it is. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, then bring that one over.
Yeah.
Okay.
The single digits ones or single choices.
Yeah, the single ones. So on my list, if I had to fight for something, I would fight for probably, I don't know, man. I'm torn.
Is it Metal Gear or like a dragon that you want to bring over? That's the question, right?
So,
Can I? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's kind of that struggle, right? Like Metal Gear, I think was good enough to come over, but the problem is, it made prettier an already incredible.
We need to address the
game.
elephant in the room here.
Are we doing remakes?
We did not talk about that. We talked about it separately, but
we did talk about it separately. Yes.
Yes.
So we are allowing, if we can make a case for it, I think there's so many remakes and remasters that come out. If we can make a case for, if like after I played Persona 3 Reload last year, I was enlightened to the fact that these are just doing so much more and are bringing the games into a new generation of people who may have never played them because now it's more accessible to them. I think remakes should be allowed to come over.
We had a name for this.
Yeah, the rule
addendum.
is
I forget what it was.
the addendum that we called it was the Resident Evil 4 remake memorial rule.
Yes, that was the new rule.
Because everybody fucking told me that you're like, need to remake the and then Preston plays one remake that he likes and he's like, well, hold on a minute. I think we should revisit.
I didn't try to put Persona 3 Reload into our top 10 last year,
But it does hold true for remakes and not remasters.
Correct. I mean, also because if you get like a remaster of Metal Gear 3, like I wouldn't consider putting that in here, but like a remake Delta,
no, I would
that's
not.
Something I would consider.
So, but even though that's kind of what I'm
game. I understand.
That's kind of what I'm torn on with like Delta. It's a remake, but it's barely more than a remaster in the sense that like it looks gorgeous, but the core gameplay is still there.
While Trials in the Sky First Chapter is a very different playing game.
Different, mechanically different, right? From like
but I would argue, I think Delta is, I think that it is still a full on, like I still think that it is a remake. Like it, not only is it rebuilt from that, but also like across the different versions of the game, like Preston brought this up once, but like across the different versions of the game, there's always like different Easter eggs. This has condensed them all into a single package now, right?
Yeah.
So you have that, and from like the gameplay stuff, like obviously, it still plays the same, but I don't know that makes it like still close to a remaster, like just because the gameplay, like I still think it is only because its gameplay wasn't like antiquated when it came out. Like I don't, like, there's nothing wrong with how Metal Gear 3 plays, whereas like arguably, like a thing like Resident Evil 4 Remake is a more drastic change because it had tank controls and now it does not. But like Metal Gear Solid 3 doesn't need, like, that gameplay is still good, but everything else built up around it still is new. And they added new things too. Like they added, like, they put all of the ape escape stuff in there. Like, I still think there's more stuff in there as a package. I still think it qualifies as a remake.
Just
I wouldn't lean
a fresh coat of
towards the
paint.
remaster.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you.
That being said, if you're
I think.
feeling like, yeah, I mean, there's other, like,
I feel strong about that one. However, I did notice too you didn't bring Dispatch over, so I would say Dispatch over.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we're positive this. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm pretty positive.
That's why I just wanted to make sure we're trying to sneak that one out of there quick before we moved on. So.
We do have another double. Is Ninja Gaiden 4 making it?
I think it could if you guys want to make a case for it, for sure, because it looks great. I know that it plays decently well enough with the hour I played with it.
Yeah, it was a great action game. For me, I do rank Metal Gear Solid higher than Ninja Gaiden 4.
Yeah.
So if I had to make a cut, I would, in my opinion, I would fight for Metal Gear over Ninja Gaiden. But I really liked it. Like, I think it was a super
I'm fine with it not making
really
it
good.
Like, I really liked it, but I think that it's, like, for our, I don't know. There's other games that I would see over it.
Every year, these lists are getting harder and harder and easier in the sense that, like, we've played so many of the same games this year that are all good, but it also makes it hard to be like, I think deserves...
Yeah, I think that definitely maybes kind of get easier because sometimes we play through the same stuff, but then I think the the ranked part is going to be the part where we argue.
I would say Metal Gear, in my opinion, unless anybody is strong against it.
I mean, I really liked it when I played the normal one this year. You're going to tell me that it's any worse than that? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's obviously, it's one of my, top 10 games of all time, so I don't have an issue with that one coming over. Okay. I'm just looking at the list just to see. At least there was 2 spots left to argue for, right? So
if I were to pick 2, Final Fantasy Tactics. And
you didn't play that.
I didn't play that, but I'm not gonna. If you want me to pick what I have on my list, I would say Absalom or Ball Pit. But if you're telling me to pick
Preston,
from other things,
can I float something to you?
What's up?
Because I agree with you about Tactics, and only because I didn't finish it, Absalom didn't rank. But I'm actually, if we want the last 2 spots to be Tactics and Absalom.
Alex, do you have any other options you want to put on the table? Is there something out there that you feel like could fight against those? And like, I would rather have that go.
No,
do you want Like a Dragon to go up against any of those? Because I know Like a Dragon is an incredible series.
Not without me just being contrarian, because
for contrarian's sake, don't be contrarian for contrarian's sake. But if you want to fight for Like a Dragon, like
no. I actually wasn't thinking Like a Dragon. I was actually thinking like if I was gonna say no to one, it would be Iblis Chronicles, and I would actually fight with you to put Arc Raiders on there. But it's fine.
I mean, he didn't say no to Ball Pit, so Ball Pit definitely goes over, I think.
Oh yeah, no, Ball Pit's not happening.
Okay,
no,
well then. All right. I think Absalom's a great game. I think Absalom is
Absalom and Iblis Chronicles.
I think Absalom is on the same type of level of Arc Raiders, to where it's like we didn't play it enough, but we know it's a great game, and if we had more time with it, we would probably fight for it a little bit more. So I think
had you and I finished it, it would have made my list.
Yeah, but I think we got so close to finishing it, by who knows. But I think I say Absalom. Take that one up, and then what were you saying, Alex?
Iblis Chronicles is fine.
Iblis, okay. It's fine. Now, is there anything in here that you think didn't make it over that needs a fight for one of those spots?
No, not Ball Pit, not Sonic Crossworld Racing.
I mean, if you can think of Rematch to knock something down here, you played the fuck out of that game, dude.
What?
Rematch?
I'm still playing Rematch. Honestly, Rematch to me, is like Ball Pit, which is like it kind of reinvigorated and reinvents a genre in a really great way. If the community had taken off more, and if it continues to grow, I could recommend it.
Thing, sure.
But I have such a hard time right now for somebody that's like not a huge soccer fan to be like, go try Rematch, because I think you might be let down by like how long some games take or the game modes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I love it. I'm still playing it right now, and I'm caught up on the battle pass and everything. But
Christian did refund it, so there's that too.
Yes,
I did. And I think, like I said, I really dig Slow Cap as a studio. I think they're great. I think that they're obviously a studio that is always committed to the long-term success of like their games, like they did with Sifu. I think that Rematch is and will be no different. I think that if you're a Rematch fan, you will continue to see content throughout there. My issues with the game were just that I like a competitive experience. Like, it's very fun for me. Like, that's why obviously Press and I play as many fighting games as we do. But when you don't, like in shooters, right? If you don't have people who adhere to the system that the game is built on, like in a team sort of fashion, it's not the end of the world, because you have the ability to affect the match on your own in a significant enough way that you can either feel good about your performance even if you still lose, or if you do end up having like some people that participate and other people who don't, you still have the ability to potentially win. Whereas like Rematch, now this is different in the 3v3 mode that has gotten more popular that Alex was talking about, but when I was playing in the 5v5 mode, was the one where everybody was trying to play, if one person is not participating, you're failed. Like it falls apart immediately, and that was very unfun for me, because I was like, I want to play this, but then it's like every match that I get in, and the queue times were a little bit longer too, but it's like every match that you get in, you're waiting, you get in, and then if one person decides they don't feel like playing a team and they want to try to do it, they lose the match for you, and you're like, well, that was, an instantaneous waste of my time, and now I have to wait to get back in.
Okay. They've done some great, I will say this on the side note, they've done some great balancing things to where it's a little bit easier if you're playing defense to, I don't know, not every pass is magnetic anymore, right? Like, you can't intercept the ball pretty easily now, and like passes are weighted differently, so they've done some really cool balancing things to where it's weighted like a real soccer ball, so everything isn't like a fucking rocket flying everywhere, and you're always behind it. I love the new things they've done. I hope that they grow this community, man, because like right now it's great. But to your point, Christian, the thing that's great about 3v3 is like sometimes I had both sides of that today in one game. So like we got into a game where one guy wanted to play by himself, and like he starts off in goalie and he just starts spamming the like pass it here button. It's like, no. So I just took the ball on my own and scored like 2 goals like instantaneously, just like super fast. And so then from that point on, that guy just kept spamming the same button, and he wanted to do it all himself. I think he got the ball one time and started like just try to do tricks back and forth, and immediately got taken out. So me and the other guy just quit passing to him for the rest. Like, he didn't touch the ball the rest of the game, and we won, but the two of us just like passed it between each other the whole time, even from goalie. So like it is funny. It's funny just the way that like you can affect it in the smaller modes. It's not a big deal. One person. You're right though. 5v5. Nobody plays 5v5 anymore. They should just get rid of that anyway. So no, I don't think Rematch should be there. That's a long way around to say I think Rematch is great, but not for everyone. Unless you're a sadist, and that's me. I just like the pain.
Fair enough.
So.
All right. Well, I think we got.
I'm fine with the list. Yeah, I'm pretty good with it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else.
I think Ninja Gaiden 4 was the one that Ninja Gaiden 4 and Arc Raiders are probably the closest ones to possibly getting into there, but I think just the other ones get out.
Yeah. All right. So let's go from 10 to 1. Let's start making this list. And boys, I'm going to throw something out that I think is pretty easy, in my opinion, which is number 10. which is a game that I did not play and you did not finish. And I think it has to be because you didn't finish it. Number 10. Absalom.
Sure.
Yeah. I think I watched you play a bit. I watched Christian play a bit before you played Preston too. And like, I think it looks great and I'm sure it's fun. But given that I didn't play it and you never finished it, that's got to be 10.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a fair one. Now, I'm going to float one for number 9.
It's not Dispatch, I can tell you that right now.
I wasn't going to argue.
Okay.
Punish Monster Hunter.
It's got to be Monster Hunter.
Yeah, we can punish Monster. Technical issues also outside of Alex's. Like,
well, it's not even just Alex's, right? Because like that one is a huge bummer, but like his is just but one notch in the tree.
Yes.
That is all of the technical foibles that this game has had since its launch. Like, the three of us, were very fortunate to not experience any of those issues all the way up until when one of us did. But, like, when Alex was looking up this issue, there is many a person who have had their save data erased, like, in a similar sort of fashion. It was not just him, and so...
And the answers of the community are not nice. Like, people are like, I just lost my save character. Like, what do I do? How do I get it back? And community answers would just be like, time to start a new character, fam. It's just like...
That's not what I want to hear.
That's
not what I want to hear. After I lost 400 plus hours, that's not what I want to hear.
I will say this. I think 9 is fair, given the lack of the story and the lack of the utilities of like the things they tried to bring into this one until this most recent fight.
And that's the other thing I was going to bring up, right? Is that even if you were to wipe away all of the technical issues, I still think that from a mechanical standpoint, this game is weaker than all of the ones that have came before it. Like, even its direct counterpart in World, where World had all of these new features that it was bringing into Monster Hunter, right? But they made it so that you were, like, utilizing all those changes throughout the story. Like, all of the tracking changes that they made, like, as the monsters, even in the expansion in Iceborne, you're using those constantly. You have to run in and gather tracks, to gather informations, to find it, to do these things. Like, you're all of that, and then there's the getting on top of the monster and slamming it into walls and being able to clutch claw onto it, and then in Iceborne when it brought the ability to ride little monsters around and stuff, right? Like, all of those things they made it so that you were utilizing throughout all of your hunts, and it made it like you had to. Same thing in Rise with all the wirebug stuff and the verticality of everything. I mean, there was stuff in those maps and monsters that we had to go chase after that was like, we're running like halfway up a mountain to get up, and using wire bugs to jump around and do stuff like. So, but this just doesn't do any of that. Like, it introduces things and then just says like, yep, they're here. Otherwise, like,
it is, it is crazy. Like, first of all, I'll say if I wouldn't have lost my entire save data, I probably would have fought for this to be higher. But I'm still very bitter about it. It is kind of crazy what they've done to this game in the thought of like, we're going to streamline it, make it more accessible. They actually have made it just a menu board of fights. Like, to Christian, your point, like, we used to go out and have to investigate creatures, and like that would be the investigation, so we come back and do them. Now you can go over to the world map, hover over each area, see what's there, right click on one of the monsters, and just be like, create an investigation. So like, it actually, all I do anymore, I think it's the reason I was able to get to like level 480 versus other games where I think I got to 250, 260, is because it's so much easier and faster, because you go to the community hub, the grand hub, you search for an SOS or you post one of your own, and then you come back, you do the same thing. You don't have to go and engage with this open world. And even though the whole place is connected, you don't ever have to go out there.
And there's something to be said, like, I'm not even against like cleaning up some of the like mundane parts of Monster Hunter, right? Like, if you wanted to try to like just clean up some of that stuff and make it quicker to do whatever, that's fine. But like, there's a whole system in the game that most people don't even know exists because you never come into it. But like, if you go out on what is called an expedition, right, where you just run out into the world and just go hunt something, if you don't get a quest for a certain monster, like, or if you go out and you have a quest for a certain monster, and then you decide that you want to hunt something else in the middle of it, you will fail the mission because the whole gimmick is that the guild has to authorize a particular hunt to get the monster right. So if you kill something random, they'll be like, hey, you're not supposed to be fighting this, and then it will kill the mission.
Back in the day, in Worlds, you used to just be able to kill as much as you could within the 15 minutes, as long as you ended on that
which is
monster.
true, but I just mean, like, even this whole gimmick in the story about you have to go through the guild and all this, because you're not exploring the new worlds, you're not doing this, right? So it's all part of the guild, and it has to be sanctioned, it has to be through this thing. I would even be okay with that, but the fact is, you don't even enforce it in any way. Like, it makes it so that the only time you see it is in this one-off situation, but otherwise it just doesn't happen. And so it's like, okay, well, that is straight. But then, like, there's also the dual weapons thing, where they only until this most recent fight do they ever require it. So yeah, I just I obviously still love Monster Hunter. I still think that this one is tons of fun, and that you will get the core Monster Hunter experience out of it. But I just think it's lacking compared to the other games.
I would agree.
Sure. I think that's fair.
All right.
Ran on over.
So next, I would like to float out some other ones.
Can you just do me a favor? Can you...
You want me to delete them?
Or put a star next to them or something that shows they're over?
Yeah,
It's fine. I'll just delete them. That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys feel about this. I think I'm happy. It's great that we're having remakes come over now and that we're allowing them to be on the list. I do think that we should, though, even regardless of how in-depth both of the remakes that we have, all three of the remakes that we have on here are, I think that because they still are, like, paths that have been trodden before, I think that should count against them when it comes to the ranking.
Yeah, I mean, because that's some of the greatest games, like, of all time to some people. To where it's like, I don't want it to be able to steal a top list just because they happen to remake or put out that game again.
Like, for example, right? Like, I would say, even though I know that it did not resonate with Alex that well, but, like, Final Fantasy Tactics is one of the highest rated games of all time. Like, it is. That being said, I don't think that like, it's not fair to be like, and same with Metal Gear Solid 3, to be honest. And it would be ridiculous if we were like, you know, like, let's say that all three of us had played it, we all loved it, whatever. It's kind of crazy to be like, okay, and the best game of this year is Metal Gear Solid 3 by default because it's still one of our favorites, right? So I think it should count against it for that. That being said, I think that the way that this would go for me is Tactics, Delta, Trails.
I had the exact same thought in my head. I thought I was going to have to fight you to put Tactics after Delta.
No, I get it. I think, obviously, like I said, I think that Tactics, it's a fact. It is one of the highest rated games of all time. I think that this story and everything about it is incredible. If you don't like tactics games, the main way of doing battles and all that other stuff, then it just will not resonate for you, which is fine. But
and if you do like tactics games, you still might need an encyclopedia to keep up with the lore.
I'm gonna be honest. I do not think that you are the only person that I've ever heard say that about this game. I think the story is totally accessible. Like, there was a point where I remember one of the things you brought. You were like, someone mentioned a Duke of so and so then I had to go to the encyclopedia and find out, like, where this Duke is and where his nation is located, and it's like, it is irrelevant, and it's there if you want to go deep.
It's
but
not
as far
irrelevant, though.
It is, because it is. I'm sorry, but, like, even in these games, of all these games that are on here, there is some extra things built out into the world that are, you know, it is extra there for world building. But like, if I were to be like, I don't know, man, Trails just has all of this extra hoopla side quests around this. It's like, yeah, no, it's just, you don't even have to do those, but they're there and you can do it. I'm just saying, like,
you're right. My favorite part of a book is when the author drops some sort of name or country or lore about their world and goes, nah, it doesn't matter. You don't need to know it. It's like, but then why'd you bring it up? Why'd you bring it up?
It's not that you don't need to know it. It's just saying that but the story does. If you just play through the story and not reading through the not going to the encyclopedia, you will be able to understand everything that happens throughout that story. No problem. Like I said, anybody can feel free to go online. Alex is the only one with this problem.
Your answer, and look, we're not arguing about the positions here.
I was going to say, you guys agreed on the position. I don't know why we're arguing.
Your answer, though, is everyone agrees the story is understandable. Don't worry about all the ancillary shit. That's a crazy answer.
No, that's not. I'm not saying don't worry about all the ancillary shit. I'm just saying that as you go through, the game will explain it to yourself. But if you are interested in deeping dive, it's like telling somebody that if you try to read through the Lord of the Rings, you have to read through the appendices, and you don't, and you know you don't.
That's not the same thing.
It is the same. Thank you, Preston. It's literally the same.
I didn't know Similion, so I don't know about this guy.
What did you say? You did or didn't?
I would say it's like to only know about this guy, I have to read this Similarion or whatever that book is called with his just an
Cimmerillion,
yeah. Sarsaparilla.
Just lost credibility
the Sarsaparilla book by Tolkien.
The Sarsaparilla book.
Yeah, the only thing I would even argue is that maybe Metal Gear Solid is higher, but I think that what I've seen with what Trails does new, I think it deserves to go above both of those.
So that's what I was going to say is like for story wise, Delta and Trails are basically tied for I think that they're both fantastic narratives. I think from a remake sense, Trails just does more by virtue of how it's how old it is versus what they added. So I just think that it ekes it out, but yeah. Okay. Well, great. I think this is there.
So this is where things are going to start to get harder. My next volunteered position, I would put Citizen Sleeper 2 next.
I would not. I would put Dispatch next.
I know you would.
And not only would I, but Preston also would.
So
I can't take his word for it. He had Ball Pit at 6. So
I mean, when it comes to personally what you would weigh out more than other things, because Dispatch has really fun gameplay, but there's not a lot of that gameplay. I was even thinking I really like Shinobi. I don't want to say it goes here, but I would say maybe Shinobi. No. But
I think Shinobi goes higher.
Citizen Sleeper, man, that's such a really fucking good game.
It is a good game, and it's a good story. I think they did interesting things with it. I was bitching to Christian about how I left a space station early on, without doing all the quests that I thought I needed to do. But then you get to the next one, and it's oh, okay, it's just more shit. You learn pretty quickly that it's not that detrimental. So I think they do a good job at just continuing on. I think it's a great game. I think the first one was a great game too. And it's not to say they didn't do enough or whatever. I'm just saying I loved the heart in Dispatch. I love the acting and the art. I think they did so good with that game. I don't know. I know you guys are going to shit on me for this, or Christian is, because I want to be Citizen Sleeper is a sequel to an already great game. You know it's going to be great. I think it hits high standards, but maybe had higher standards to start with. Dispatch, and that's what you're going to bitch about, is a new game, and I know it's just building on the Telltale formula.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
It's just such a well done. It's the best version of that.
It's different enough with the dispatching and not having to do the Telltale thing. Oh my god. Not have to do the Telltale thing of look around, walk around, touch this, touch that.
Dispatch resonated with me
Sleeper
more
2
than Citizen Sleeper 2.
I think
I meant between
one. It is a sequel. No, Citizen Sleeper 2 is higher on both our lists than Dispatch is on the list that it is already on.
To be fair, mine's right above it.
Right. And you had it above and below or above
which
Dispatch.
Means it could have gone either way.
And then on mine, Citizen Sleeper 2 is higher than Dispatch even on Alex's list.
That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter.
And also, I think that
it is
harder. It is harder to make a sequel that continues to build upon a game that is there already and make it better, so that I would say that like Citizen Sleeper 2 is an improvement across Citizen Sleeper in every way.
Okay.
And that is harder to do than I think we're giving that credit for, because there's many sequels that come out.
I don't think we
look at Monster Hunter Wilds.
I don't think we need to place things based on difficulty of making.
It's not difficult,
game.
but I'm saying that you're like it's a sequel.
No.
But you also can't count it against it then, because you were like it's a sequel to an already great game, so it's not fair that it would be higher.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you expect greatness, you got greatness. That's awesome, right?
No,
I think the story resonated better
but you can say
with
that's
Dispatch.
awesome. You can say that that's awesome, but that doesn't mean that it was like it can only count against it and not for it. Because there are so many times where sequels come out and they are not as good, and it happens all the time. Like I said with Monster Hunter Wilds, where it is not as good as any of the games that have came before it. And it should it totally could have been. And I agree that I think that Dispatch was... Look, I enjoyed my time with Dispatch. I think that it is an amazing example of the Telltale style games. It's made by all of those same folks, so it might as well just be another one of those games. Like it's not fair to call it a new game. I think that it is a new franchise in the history of Telltale games. And that being said, I do think there are characters in that game that I think are performed extremely well and are very good. There's also some stinkers.
I don't think there's any stinkers in that game when it comes to performances.
Sonar is garbage. I'm
Sonar
so
is
sorry.
incredible.
No, that whole voice acting performance is literally just the most like blandly delivered. I thought it was a good choice.
I thought it was a good choice in voice until I actually heard the guy just on one of his streams like, oh, he's just doing his voice. Which is not like a detriment against him, because he's not like trying to be like the biggest voice actor in the world. He doesn't give a fuck. But like it's moist critical. Like that dude is just he's doing him. I mean,
I will say it's so hard because
you're gonna hit him because he's just doing his voice. That's you're gonna.
It's not about just doing his voice. I'm saying
just
like
doing him.
You could add like I don't know some emotion.
That's not him though. He doesn't have emotion.
But that's not my problem. That's being a bad voice actor. Like if I came into a booth and just delivered lines flatly for 4 hours, everybody would be. And he's like, "Well, no, it's just Christian."
I disagree with the fact that they were delivered flatly. The Peter Dinklage doing Ghost was delivered flatly.
I genuinely do not have a difference between Peter's performance in Destiny and Sonar. And here's the thing: I actually don't even think that
if you're gonna talk about the things that like people don't agree with, right? Like I'm the only one that thinks this about Ivalice Chronicles. I get it. Nobody hits on this game for its bad voice acting from anyone.
That's not true.
That is true.
No, I don't agree with this one, but everybody came at Lana's performance for Malevola saying that she also sucked. I did not feel that way. I thought her performance was good, but there is to the point where she had to say something about it, so that is definitely not true. And number two,
I have not seen that. And look, I'm not gonna say that's not true. I would say she's probably one of the highest statuses on there of streamers and people in that community, and she's a woman, and it's the internet, so that makes sense.
Sure, I'm not. Again, I didn't say that I agree with it. And here's the thing: I actually think that there's a couple other ones on here that in that game that I think, by virtue of how this game works, because you have to fire somebody, they have to go away for a while, and all that stuff, right? So you can either have Sonar the whole time and lose Coop, or you can keep Coop and then lose Sonar. And I think like both of those characters are because you can lose them, they have to be forgettable. And they don't do anything when they're there. Like, they're just there. And all the other characters that are there...
They're
right, but I'm just saying, like, they...
Yeah.
But, like, and by virtue of them doing that, because you have to do that decision, they can't just, like, be this main integral part of the plot, because it wouldn't make sense to have those two interchanged out. So I get it, but I'm just saying that it's not, like... Because of that, there are some stinkers, and it's okay.
I disagree with that. I don't think there's any stinkers in the acting in that at all. And
I think that if Sonar or Coop leave the game, that game does not get better or worse by any order of magnitude.
I think we're getting hung up on the acting at this point. I think personally,
I don't think that has anything to do with the acting, right? Like if it's written that way.
Number 5 of the top 5 of our top 10, I think Dispatch would be a great spot for this because I enjoyed playing Citizen Sleeper more than I enjoyed playing Dispatch.
I agree.
I'm going to burn it all down and just agree with Preston's first take and say let's put Shinobi there.
I feel like, fucking go back. If I can't have what I want, then I'm going with the other.
Just fucking put Shinobi there. That's what Preston wanted, and I agree with Preston to begin with.
I'm changing my mind.
That's fine. I will let Preston say it. I don't agree with it because I heard Preston talk about Citizen Sleeper for 1 week on our podcast. I heard Preston talk about Dispatch for multiple weeks when we were just chatting on how funny it was and how much
it took him 2 weeks to finish.
No, it's fine.
It took 2 weeks
it's
to come
fine.
out fully as well.
It's fine.
Right. That doesn't count at all. They did an episodic release.
No, just saying.
Yep.
I don't recall Preston talking about. I don't recall Preston talking about how much he laughed during Citizen Sleeper, how much it hit him in the field.
Citizen Sleeper is not a funny
not a
fucking
comedy.
It's not a fucking funny.
It's not a comedy.
Dispatch is 100% a comedy.
It's fine.
My God, yeah, because we were all cracking up during Silent Hill F, but here it is.
No, I'm just saying. I heard him talk about Dispatch more than he talked about Citizen Sleeper.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
It was a episodic release, and it ranched over 2 weeks. So it took him 2 weeks to finish it.
No.
Yep. Everyone else can do their own homework.
Yes.
It's all right there.
Anyways. So I think this next part, Preston, you and I have to discuss because Alex is going to be of zero help. And it's going to be between Shinobi or Citizen Sleeper here. And the problem is, even though Shinobi wasn't as high on my list, but they are, and we kind of have them like almost.
Well,
like,
if you do the law of averages,
Sleeper.
if you do the law of averages where you have them, it would go Shinobi, Citizen Sleeper.
Yeah,
because you have Shinobi
would.
further
as far as we
down
both
on the
have,
list.
I got Shinobi higher on my list, but yeah.
At number 2, though.
Right, but you have 2 and 3, and he has 2 and 7.
And also, I'm pretty sure I said that like 2 through 4 or 5, like I could just interchange those because.
Oh, interesting. It's funny. The Dispatch falls right in there with the ones you can just interchange. Yeah. Tell me more about that.
I made my decision, and I'm sticking with it.
Mm-hmm.
He did. I agree.
Yeah.
Yep. That's tough.
Fuck off.
But that's what I was talking about, is that I think, like, I could be convinced.
I think that some of that story in Citizen Sleeper is so fucking good, and the variations you have with all that, and just all the things you could fuck up or do really well just based on random dice rolls. I don't know. I think Citizen Sleeper. I really fucking love Shinobi. I really fucking do. But I think Citizen Sleeper 2 is a better. Yeah, I think sure.
I find that interesting.
Okay.
Because you have it after.
Like I said, those are. I mean, ask me tomorrow and find out where I think some of these other ones lie. But
okay,
this fucking Ghost of Yote is gonna come climbing up this fucking list the more I play that game too. But I'm not even gonna mention that. I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Christian? I mean, I can see it go either way. Fuck it, I can see it go either way.
Yeah. I don't know. I go back and forth because I really liked Shinobi. Like, it obviously, was lower on my list because of... It would have been higher above Monster Hunter Wilds, but it would have been below Tactics and Trails. But that's, those games. But obviously, with the remakes and how we're setting it there, like when I'm just thinking about the two of them, like, I don't know. I think... Because the gameplay of Shinobi is so good.
Yeah, and Citizen Sleeper 2's gameplay is dice roll. And
it's D&D, right? It is. It's D&D. Yeah. You're rolling for a chance to do something.
But it's even less than something like a Baldur's Gate.
Right.
Which is more pure D&D.
You're just rolling on actions, and that's it.
Yeah.
D&D inspired, maybe is the better way to say it.
I kind of like the way I have it in my top 10, the more I think about it. Sleepers.
I'm
and
fine with.
Shinobi.
I think that that's fair. I do. I think.
All right, let's do Sleeper for
Yeah.
4, Shinobi for 3. Then we just gotta decide.
If you want to go via what critics would say and people on OpenCritic, it would go Citizen Sleeper would be top, and then Dispatch in the middle, and Shinobi below all of them. But it's fine.
But they're all wrong because Shinobi is an incredible game, and they all don't know what.
That's
They all have
true.
horrible taste, so it's just
They're-
fine. That's why we're here doing this because we need to let people know.
It's funny
the
you
proper
say
answer.
that without asking any context,
No.
because they're all overall rated the exact same.
Oh, really? This is replaced.
They're all 87. All three of them are 87. It's just that critics are 99% recommended on Citizen Sleeper, 98% on Dispatch, and 96% on Shinobi.
And could it be depending on how many of them actually played it, based off of who would actually, yeah.
Also, all the games below it don't have a character named Joe Musashi.
Yeah,
so.
that's fair. And they don't ride a fucking
And they don't have a giant
skateboard.
spectral wolf that you get to ride, which is
Yeah.
really fucking cool.
Dope ass execution moves. Yeah, it's really good.
God,
Badass soundtrack.
so
Really good soundtrack.
Yeah, there it
I'm
is.
gonna let you have so much dog toy to edit out of this.
I'm gonna squeak this toy, and you won't know because Discord won't bring it up, but my recording press and that'll bring it up. Yeah, that's some work to do, that's
I
fine.
mean, I don't want to be this guy, but I think we know where the last two fall. I mean, we only have
Yeah.
Silent Hill F left and Clair Obscur, and only 2 of us played Silent Hill, and all of us played Clair Obscur, and all of us had Clair Obscur at our number 1 spot. I think we know how this ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So number 2.
I
is
will
Silent
say
Hill.
the only thing that I want to say, because Alex, you've almost finished it, but like, if the gameplay was just a little bit tighter on this, I may have flipped.
And I would have
these.
believed you, and I
It's
would have
funny-
gone to bat for it with you too. Because anytime I watch this, I'm getting like the feel that I had when and obviously it's not the same games; they're so far apart. But like Eternal Darkness feels, as far as like it's horror enough for me that I would like it, and it's not too much for me to walk away from it.
I think
and
that's a fair comparison
enough
with
stuff
how it does
and
some of the
multiple endings
psychological
too. Yeah,
It's a crazy. I don't know. I can't give it any more endorsement than the fact that, like, I told Christian today I was thinking about platinuming it, and this is a horror game. It's a
I think a
survival
horror game being your
game.
top
Like,
10 isn't big enough endorsement. You're not a horror guy.
I know. So I
Yeah.
don't. I can't give any more.
That high up?
Christian,
Yeah.
it's funny. It's funny you say that about the combat because I agree with you with the combat. There's plenty of times where like you go to dodge, and like the character dodges the wrong way, or like if there's many enemies around and you're locked onto one, the lock will switch, and then you miss swinging. Like I have
Yeah.
problems with the combat too. And I was listening to somebody the other day. Oh, you know what it was? It was Twitch, and it was a streamer. You guys may know, and Preston, you can bleep this if you want. I don't care. Co-Carnage, right? You guys know who that guy is?
Sounds
He's
I think I heard of him.
a streamer on Twitch. He was on just the main page, and because I had logged on, I was waiting for Preston to log on. So I was like, I have
I'm
the
not
testing
on the
room
main
up.
page.
Well, you hadn't logged on yet, so I was just waiting for you to like turn the game on, and so I had like the testing room up, and then the main page was minimized up top. He was talking about it, and I guess he was bitching, and the people in like his chat were bitching, saying like, "Oh, the combat in Silent Hill, they've done things to negate like every fight. If you just perfect dodge, then or you can parry, and things don't matter, and like the movement is better." He's like, "It's everything that made Silent Hill scary, which was the terrible controls." Is not here.
But that was
And
a
I
total
thought that
Can I
was
pause
a
you
weird
for just
take
one
because
second?
I
am so sorry, but people
I hate that excuse.
who bring that up for
Mm-hmm.
old Resident Evil games and old Silent Hill games do not understand tank controls. People always went like, "Oh no, it's bad on purpose," and it's like, no, you morons. It was not bad on purpose. They were tank controls because that is what people had at the time. Like it was the easiest way to get a character to move around in a 3D space on PlayStation 1. It was just not like the only other option was to do something like a Parasite Eve, which was be full isometric and then have the character move not as a tank like in that, and then it was turn-based, and there was a whole other, it was kind of like not turn-based, but like Transistor, kind of like you plan out your moves and they would happen. But it is very frustrating when people are like, it was bad on purpose, and it's like, no, it's that it wasn't. Like, if you had played those games back then, it would be exactly how you would assume a 3D game would play, because that's how they all played. Like, it was just that you as a person have gotten older, experienced other games, and now you go back to tank controls and you're like, oof, this sucks. But instead of just being able to say, like, I don't like tank controls anymore, you have to go on some giant soapbox about how it's like, no, they were bad on purpose and it was part of it. You don't, like, yes, those games were designed with tank controls in mind, but that's because that was the movement style they were using, not because they were like, hey guys, let's make this suck. Like, that's not, and imagine the idea of Resident Evil 4 being like one of the highest rated games of all time, one of the most important, up there with Final Fantasy 7 as far as being important, and Shinji Mikami looking at everybody and being like, hey guys, as a control system, what we should choose is one that sucks.
Yeah. No, that's what I think it's funny that, like, people think that this fighting system is so much better. I think it is kind of, I don't want to say bad, because bad's not the right word, but it is not great, right? It is not tight.
It does not match the quality of the game that it's in.
Yes, it doesn't. But the narrative and everything else is absolutely incredible. Just an update from when we recorded the other day. At the time, I had done one ending. I was on my second. I have now done 4 out of the 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is so good. I love the changes they do with the characters throughout, and the fact that, like, you just continue to find new stuff. Like, each one, there's like new notes that build on stuff that you learned previously, and it's very well done. But I agree, the fighting and combat is not great. There are plenty of times where I get grabbed or get hit by something, and I'm just like, fucking how? Like, I knew this was coming and I dodged.
Yeah.
And the game's just like, no, you're gonna get hit anyways. Like, okay.
And on a 1-on-1 situation, I think the combat is fine. Like, if you're fighting an enemy 1-on-1, I have no issues how it plays this. But when you're in group enemies, and the game does this multiple times, where it's like there's group enemies around you, and you'll see an enemy come at you, and you go parry, and you'll do the parry, and you go to do the moves, and then all that'll happen is an enemy behind you will either be in the middle of swinging, or maybe they were already swinging, and they'll hit you, and then you'll see your health still tick down, even though you were in the parry animation for a different enemy. And you're like, well, I can't move now, but I have to take this damage. Like, it's just, there are certain sections in the game where the combat can get very, very frustrating very quickly.
I was waiting for a parry to come up earlier, just because, like, I ran up on this enemy and I was like, I just want to end him quick so I can save it and turn the game off. It was right before I logged off today. And it's the guys that run kind of quick, they have the fungus out of their head, like, they just attack with 2 arms. They're just like the fast creatures. They have a 9-hit combo where they're just like swing, 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 double swing, slam, swing, 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 swing. And I was waiting for him to do that parry, and I didn't realize what he was about to start, and I just got caught in that 9-hit combo, and I just sat there and I was just like,
yep, I'll let this happen.
Like, yeah, like, literally, just, we always joke about it, I just wanted to scream, be like, stop bullying me, like, let me move.
Like, all I can say is, though, is if this gameplay was tightened up a little bit, with how well this narrative is done, and also the performances, like, every character in this game, but especially Hinako's voice actress, is just, I mean,
the acting,
like,
and the story
out of this world good.
Acting.
Like, Alex, all 3 of us have seen the first ending, so I'll talk about it. But like I was saying in our last episode, like, the whole scene where you discover that the medicine is the problem, and she's, like, in the middle of having a panic attack, it genuinely sounds like she's having a panic attack. Like, the performance there comes across so incredibly well. I can't.
The thing that gets me to, like, so the movie Saw, the first one, is one of my favorite movie-going experiences and one of my favorite horror movies ever, just because it's something you could never duplicate, right? Because, like, once you get the gimmick of Saw, it's ruined, like the very first one. But that first time where you watch this movie and he stands up in the middle of the room himself, it's like, the key was in the bathtub, he's been alive the whole time. Like, what I had that same feeling with this video game, because in the very early part, when everything kicks off, you get this great cutscene where you're having to run from this monster. Everything's peaceful. You're running from this monster. Now all of a sudden you're in Silent Hill and you're injured, right? And the game's like, hey, tutorial, boop, boop, boop. Like, oh, Shu gave me some pills, right? Like, hey, partner, use this, blah, blah, it'll help you out in a situation. So the game is like, look, you're injured. You're going to need to heal. Take these pills, heal, So the
Yes.
first playthrough, you're trained from the very first action you take is to take these pills, only for the very last action of the game to be your realization that the thing you started with has led you to this point, had that same Saw moment of when he stands up at the end and was like alive the whole time. And I was like, that was so well done.
Ugh. I mean, the way that ending happens, where everything fades out for a second, and then you start seeing police lights, and you're like, what is going on? And then it's just this radio dispatch of a woman who went crazy on her wedding day, murdered a bunch of different people, and then went home and murdered her parents, and you're like... And then as you start to like hear this description, and then it starts to play through, like you play through the events of what you just did as the character, you're just sitting there and you're like, oh my god, this was all in her head. Like, and it's just from that moment you're like yeah, I agree. It's this moment of like, the second that happened, you're like, I'm bought in. Like, whatever, I need to see all these other endings now. I need to know what this is about to get the true ending. I need to know, because you have me completely hooked.
It's great too. Like, none of the other endings so far out of the four that I've seen, it was the UFO, the quote unquote good, the quote unquote bad, if you're reading it that way. I haven't gotten the true. This one I'm doing now, but like, even out of the others, they're not as dramatic as the first one. They're not as gory and gross, but they have their own like psychological like darkness to them. Just because like in one you realize that like you think it's good on the surface until you start thinking about this relationship that she's still trapped in, and like everything she was fighting against, which was just like being a woman to a man in this like period of Japan, she's still there. Right, like her friend's around, but now she's controlled by like two men instead of one man. It's just very well done, very well done. All of them.
Yep, I agree. It's I'm so excited to see what comes next from them.
Are they doing the next one? Like, is that team, or are they going to hire out? Like,
I don't think they've said anything about it yet. Yeah,
because theoretically,
yet.
Yeah,
and this writer they brought is from the outside. Like, it's Ryujink 77 is his like the thing that he goes by.
Very weird name, yeah.
But he's from the outside too, so they brought in all of these people just to like do this. I think that going forward, this should be your team. Like, you should try to figure out a way to make this work again. And as far as whatever the next Silent Hill is, because the other thing that I'll say about this is that it is, in my opinion, of all the Silent Hills that I've played, much better than all of them. And like, I know that that is probably a hot take to the Silent Hill community, because there's a lot of people who were let down about this game for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't like.
I wonder if they go dual releases, like classic Silent Hill, and like this American town that's really gross and gory, and this other team doing their other stuff and do
the
opposites.
thing is the team that did those originals, it has been dead forever. Like they like, even the one that you played on the Wii or whatever it was that I can't remember but the one that you had played that was really old, that the team that had made the original 2. The team that had made the original 2 Silent Hill games was dead then.
Oh, okay.
Like, they've been trying to get new people to do this stuff like forever, and it's been to varying degrees of success throughout its entire life cycle until this moment.
Because it seems like then all the other teams they were bringing in were trying to duplicate what those original teams did, and this, for the first time, somebody came in and was like, no, we're going to do our own own thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think the problem is that, I think that's part of it. I think the other part of it is that Silent Hill, with those first 2 games, kind of didn't know the monster they had created in their own way. Like, between the town and what it represents and all this other stuff, and then obviously 2 being the way more popular one with Pyramid Head and all the stuff, like the cultural sort of stuff that comes with it. I think that... I mean, like I said, the guy who created it begs people to stop talking to him the way that they do about those characters, and he's like, I wish that people weren't so upset. Like, the obsessiveness that people have about this makes me wish I had never made these characters in the first place, which like should tell you where the fandom is at as far as that stuff is concerned. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do going forward, but I hope that these people are involved because this is a great sort of, in my opinion, like jumping off point for what a quote unquote reboot of Silent Hill could be going forward, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
do we
go
want
ahead.
to... There's other, like, so the other, obviously, I think we talked about the remakes part, but, like, we talked a whole lot about Silent Hill, but we did not actually talk about, like, at least Expedition 33. I mean, do we want to just...
I think we can at least say that last little thing
or...
if you want, because, like, we've talked about this game throughout the year. If you listen to this podcast
That's
at
true.
all, you've heard us talk about this at length. It should have been no surprise, except for a little bit, maybe messing around with the top 3 there. Like, it should have been, like, no surprise that this was going to be our top number 1 of the year. Because it's just, we've been praising this since it came out in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you guys have anything you want to say about it? I think, you know, with real-time strategy, you know me, I kind of get, like, a little fuddy-duddy on it. It kind of feels a little boring sometimes.
Or
I should put something
turn-based,
else. Turn-based, so yeah. But, man, the dodge and the parry and the other, like, counter that they have in there, it's added enough variety to that. Because there's been parries, and there's been other things like with Mario RPG, where you try to press the button at the right time for like certain attacks. Like that's been done before, but not enough, I feel, in my personal opinion. And I think they crushed it with that. They crushed it with the music. It looks fantastic. Voice acting, like, it just seems like everything they did in that game, outside of maybe a little bit of pacing towards the end, was 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't... I look,
I don't know that I even have any issues with the pacing at all.
Well,
Really.
some people are killing bosses
either.
in one hits. Like I had an issue where like I was almost killing the very last person in that last little area. Like we're spoiling things now anyway. It's game of the year. Like I almost killed Verso before we finished our entire dialogue with him and Mayel just because I was doing so much fucking damage. And people were doing that with other bosses too, to where it's just like they spent so much time in Act 3 that they go into like to finish it off, and it's just they are just destroying things before even dialogue finishes in the fights.
I love that.
Yeah, to me...
I love it too, but like it's still a pacing issue. You don't get the full story if you're just going to go, wait, I missed that? Oh, shit.
I don't know if it's like a pace, but like that's also kind of JRPGs, right? Like that's the RPGs that they're inspired by. But like if I went through and spent the time to level up all of my characters to get them super high with all this gear and abilities and stuff, like I'm gonna...
But you know me, like I'm not that
shit out
person.
of
Like
those
I don't usually do that in
bosses.
JRPG, so I didn't even think about that when you're even saying that. But like, even with this game, without me doing all the side stuff, I was still getting very close to like missing dialogue, just playing the game naturally.
I think I would say that the power curve can be messed up in this game for sure. Like there is bonkers ass numbers that you're allowed to get to. That being said, I personally enjoy it. Like I think it's fun to watch billions of damage come out on the screen. But I agree that there's if you're trying to hear like all of the ambient dialogue that happens in those battles and stuff, it can ruin if you just, you know, insta wipe fucking you know,
The
any
final
of
boss,
the
anybody,
the end bosses there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
I don't know that I can say anything that we haven't said already, or that,
that's
like,
fair.
if anybody listening to this
it just
hasn't already heard, right? It swept the Game Awards. It's been all over. Like it's been the darling of 2025. Yeah.
And I thought just being a funny contrarian like you, Alex, being like, maybe we put Silent Hill F above Clair Expedition and like just call it a day, so we don't have to be like everybody else. But to be fair, Expedition 33 is fucking the best game that came out this year, so I can't say no. And it's number 1 in all of our top 10, so it's...
Yeah, also, the one thing we don't need is a bunch of random angry people coming at us online because we purposely switched to...
Purpose just to do it for contrarian sake.
That's
like I said, if the gameplay was better, I would have a serious argument, but no, it's... Yeah, Expedition 33 is just... It is far away. I mean,
it's a gem.
There's even little moments
gem.
like this will be out. He won't have heard it by. He'll be past this point by the time he hears this. But like, so Damien is friend of the show, obviously composer of the intro. We were over. I was talking to him recently, and he was making his way through Expedition 33, and he's like towards the back part of Act 1.
Okay.
And he obviously has no idea that Gustav is about to get smoked. And the way he's talking about this game and everything, and it reminded me of that same moment that Alex and I had with Travis, where Travis was also like, oh man, this Gustav guy is pretty cool, and this and that, and oh, I can't wait to unlock the rest of his abilities, and yada yada yada. And Alex and I were both like, like just, being like,
he was like, oh, I just unlocked this Picto for Gustav that did this thing. Like, I start off and hit him with this. Like, yeah.
Sounds like a fun thing to do.
Yeah, word. And then
I remember when Gustav died, and he was like, this game's trying to make me think Gustav's dead. I was like, fam, they're not trying to make you think anything.
They are showing it.
He's dead.
He's real dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's, that whole like watching people's reaction to that moment, I thought was really great. The way that people are attached to their endings of this game, or vice versa, whatever, I think also just speaks to the level of writing that is in this game, right? Where, like, Preston brought it up before, but, like, Alex, changed the name of the group chat, had to change a photo. There was all sorts of dialogue that happened because Preston
a lot of
picked a
online
different ending than
bullying.
we did.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
A lot of online bullying.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And I think it just speaks to the game, man. Anytime that I see somebody playing this game online, whether they're going through, whatever, I will always just take a peek and be like, oh, I wonder where they're at, and like just watch and have it on the background for a little bit, because it is that great. I mean, even like every single moment in the game, I think hits. Even the small ones where, like when you get Minoko for the first time and Verso's trying to get him to join the team, right? He's like, I will never adventure with you again. He's like, oh yeah, that's fair. Like, there's going to be a lot of fighting though. And then he's like, oh, that's true, there will be a lot of fighting. And he's like, good. And then they go back forward and he's like, okay, yes, I'm in. And it's like, even like those little, like just little things. Preston, to your point, when you meet him, Minoko, and you get his theme, and it is just out of nowhere, just this jazz, like jam session. You're just like, what the fuck is going on here?
When he does his super move for the first time and he thinks he killed everyone, right? Like,
yeah.
He starts crying.
Like, oh, he's like crying. Yeah. Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm such a fucking idiot. I'm so sorry. Like, it's this whole thing. God, yeah, it's everything about it, man. Like, Esquier being the character he is, like, I still think about sometimes when he's like, he's like, when he does the whole wee woo thing, and he's like, sometimes you're more wee and sometimes you're more woo. It's okay. Like, it just goes with it. Like, it's just.
It's great.
Yeah. I know that this game has reached now the level of popularity where people want to be like, oh, it's not as good as people think it, whatever. Like but I think that speaks more to the popularity that his game has reached.
Yeah.
If that's what people are bringing to the criticism table, then I think that you should know that you have made a truly great experience, because
it's a home run for this developer's first game.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
We're not going to get into it. We talk about it off the pod, but we have hit this interesting circle of the internet cycle where it was the darling. It was everywhere, and they were doing everything they could to promote it. And then, like, there's been one little thing recently that wasn't even a big deal around some textures.
The
and other
pre-production
stuff that got patch day one.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden people are like, oh, take it off of your list, give awards back. Like, we are now in the hate status of this game, and it's such an interesting. It's sad, but it's such an interesting social experiment, because you see it with anything that rises in pop. You see it with actors, you see it with TV shows, you see it with whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's popular, everyone's excited about it, they want everybody to watch it, they get everybody to watch it, and then it's not as popular for the articles written about it, so now we have to find reasons to get angry about it, so people start tuning in again. And we're now on that let's be angry about things.
And I think there's some people who just aren't, they're just not people who, I think part of it too is it all starts with a groundswell of people who just don't like single player experiences. You are just the type of person who finds multiplayer games the most fun. There was that one, I don't remember what his name is, but there was that one streamer who was like saying Arc Raiders should be game of the year. It's not even close. I don't even know what this Expedition 33 game is, but if it's not, I think it's just a single player game, and then by that virtue alone, it shouldn't win. Like, all sorts of stuff. Like, it's not better than Arc Raider, blah, 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 blah. Which is all amounts to just not real criticism. But that being said, what it really should just come down to for you is, if you're those type of people that like just be honest, just say that, just be like, hey, I don't like single player games, and that's okay. But that doesn't. But that just all that means is that you just don't get to comment on the quality.
You don't need
of
to
one.
poo-poo on it
That's
just because
okay.
you don't like that type of thing.
That I told you guys this is what I was really excited about for my list this year. Like when I look at my list, I have that co-op story game of Split Fiction. I have a sports game. I have an action game, Ninja Gaiden, which is like something I never really played. I have the things that I still go to with Trails and Ninja or Like a Dragon, but I also have Silent Hill. Like I was so happy with the variety of the things
Diversity.
I played this year. Yeah,
Yeah.
the eclecticness. Yeah. So cool. All right. Well, if we're going 10 to 1, let's do it. Our official ranked testing room list, top 10 of 2025. I believe this is the soonest we will bring it to you at the new year of any year we've done this.
so?
Typically, we're like a week or two
I
after.
think you might be
so-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, number 10, Absalom. Number 9, Monster Hunter Wilds. Number 8, Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles. Number 7, Metal Gear Solid Delta. Number 6, Trails in the Sky, First Chapter. Number 5, Dispatch. Number 4, Citizen Sleeper 2. Number 3, Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Number 2, Silent Hill F. And number 1, clean sweeping every list and award this year, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Wee wee. So, wah wah. So, don't forget, everyone, check in with us next week. We'll have a new episode for you when we'll be back to our video game book club with part 2 of Wolfenstein: The New Blood. So we'll be picking up where we left off. Don't forget to check in with Preston for his Star Wars Sundays, and we were back to our normal scheduled stuff of 2026. We hope you join us for next year. We'll all make it a better year. Thank you all for capping this one off with us. And with that, Preston, you know what to do.
For those who come after.
Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.